to another video of Huck's World. Today I'm going to do a video review on the Moto 362, the women's version. Now, we did an unboxing a couple of months ago when we bought this watch to surprise my wife, and definitely she was surprised. Now, I didn't think she was going to wear the watch as much as she's been wearing it. She wears this watch every day. I think one of the things she likes most about this watch is the activity tracker. She likes to keep track of her steps. She's into staying fit and keeping healthy. So she loves this watch. Now, we're going to do a short video on this because pretty much the specs are identical to the Moto 362. So there's no need to draw this out, but we will give you a couple of the specs. We will share our impressions and our thoughts about the Moto 362. Now, I love this watch. It's nice, but it's too small for me. I think it's perfect for a woman. So Motorola did a good job at coming out with a women's version of the Moto 362. Now, this watch has a couple of differences from the original. Let's take a look at it. Look at the size of this watch, the Moto 362, which is on my right. It is massive compared to the women's version of the Moto 362. Now, another difference is the lugs. The lugs are smaller, ladies. Take a look at it. Now, it looks dainty, looks feminine. Look like something that would look nice on a woman's wrist, opposed to this big gaudy thing that definitely swallows up most women's wrists. So now we have a women's version of the Moto 362 along with the original or the second generation Moto 360. So that's a couple of the differences. Another is the band size is a 16 millimeter versus the 22 millimeter on a 46 millimeter watch. Now, this is 42 millimeters in size. It has a resolution of 360 by 325 with a pixel density of 263. Now, the 46 millimeter is a 360 by 360 with a PPI of 233, which means that the display on the women's version of the Moto 360 is a little bit sharper than the Moto 362, the men's version. So, but both watches, both displays look great. I have to say, they both look great. Now, those are a couple of differences between the two watches. Okay? So, women have been looking for a smaller watch. So have the men. So, men, if you're looking for a smaller watch and you don't want the 46 millimeter in size, then they have a 42 millimeter men's version of this watch. And the band size is going to be a 20 millimeter. So, they have one ready for you. Now, this here still has the edge display. This is the home button. They got it to 2 o'clock, just like on the Moto 362. But this is the rose gold version. We didn't get it created or designed by the motor maker. So if you want to change this, you don't want the gold version and you want a black casing or a silver casing, then you can go to Motor Maker and create your own watch. And that's what's good about Motor Maker. You can change this to be whatever you like it to be. You can change the band, you can change the bezel, you can change the casing of this watch, and you can make this watch your own unique style. And that's one thing that's good about Motorola and what they did this time around with the Moto 360 too. So, look at the watch. It looks identical to the Moto 362, just smaller. So it does a lot of the same things that the original does. So we're going to go through a couple of the specs, just for the women's sake, just in case there's some women out there who have not seen this watch or who have been considering getting a watch like this. Now, my favorite feature on this watch is Google Now. I love Google Now. So you can do searches on this watch just like you could on your Android device. So if we cut the watch on, we can go, okay, Google, you can tell it whatever you want it to do. You can say Best Buy, you can say give me a definition of a word. You can put in whatever search you want to put in, just like you can on your Android device, which makes this awesome. Now, the watch is out of range, so therefore it's not going to allow the search to go through, but you get the picture. So that's a nice feature to have on this watch. Now, it does not have a speaker. It has a mic, but it doesn't have a speaker. Now, you can also answer phone calls from this as well. I mean, if you attach your Bluetooth headset to this, you can listen to music. Of course, you can download your music from your phone to your watch. You can listen to your music. You can answer phone calls. You can make phone calls as long as you got a Bluetooth device connected to it. Another good feature on here is what is called the always on display, which is on right now. So every watch face is going to be different, but this is the one for this particular watch face. So in the always on, you're going to always be able to get the time at a glance. So you don't have to flick your wrist in order to cut the watch on to be able to see what time it is. So you just look down at a glance and you got it. Another good thing about this watch is that the battery life is phenomenal. So you don't have to worry about charging this watch in the middle of the day. You're going to be able to make it through a whole day without having to charge it till you go to bed at night. So you can get a day and a half out of this easily in the always on mode. That's been my experience. So I have a lot of apps on my watch, but it may be different on the 46 millimeter, the men's version, than it would be for the women. But the battery life is phenomenal. I think Motorola did a great job compared to the original with this version. So again, you don't have to worry about battery life. The other thing it does, it tracks your steps. So if you're health conscious or if you're into fitness, it does have an activity tracker. Now, before I go into that, I want to tell you that this watch face that's on right now is called an inactive watch face. And it has your steps in there. So let's say you want to see your steps daily. All you got to do is just cut on your watch. You can see your steps. You tap on that particular dial and it'll bring up your steps. Information on your steps. See if we can get it to come up. It's being temperamental. So there you go. That's your steps. She walked 1,200 steps. Gives you the mile estimate. And it's pretty nice. And if you swipe to the left, it'll give you some more information. So you're able to go back and see what you did on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it gives you a weekly update or information on your step activity, which is pretty nice. So if you're jogging, this would be a good thing to have. So all in all, this is a pretty good watch. It's lightweight. It feels good on the wrist. The band feels nice. It's not a bad band. But if you want to change out the band, remember you can change out this band to whatever you want to change it out to. Also, it does track your heart rate automatically. And you can go in and see how your heart has been. So ladies, what do you think? Is this the watch for you? If you like this video, hit the like button below. If you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe. Again, as always, I will see you in the next video.